I'm 40. I wasted my life. Don't make the same mistake. Video by Dad Mode in Dark Mode. Okay, let's check this out, man. Insightful video, I'm sure.
I'm 40 and I wasted my life.
Damn.
I've got nothing to show for it.
Oh, man.
No house, no savings, no career that I'm proud of.
God.
I'm pouring everything that I have into this channel because I've got nothing else. And if you're in your 20s or even your early 30s and you think you've got time,
Right.
I'm telling you right now, you don't.
Yeah. Moves fast, man.
I wish I had someone in my life when I was younger, someone who actually cared enough about me and was smart enough to show me how life really worked.
Yeah.
How women really operated.
A lot of men end up feeling that way.
And what I actually needed to focus on.
Right.
I didn't have that. I was getting all of my ideas about love and success and women from movies and idiots my own age who didn't know anything at all. So there was no sense of urgency, no perspective, just vibes and dumb plans and this fantasy that everything would somehow work itself out.
It's just all gonna work itself out. That's not how life works, man.
And it didn't. In my 20s, I thought I was, super deep and cool. And, because I had tattoos and, I knew some obscure bands and played drums. And I thought being different was a personality. I wasn't building anything real.
Yeah.
I was just chasing sex and novelty, hooking up with women because I was addicted to the high. Not the connection, just the rush. I spent more time crushing on church girls who didn't like me and hanging out at coffee shops, and smoking cigarettes, drinking lattes, and going to hardcore shows. I did more of that than I did doing anything that would help me long term.
Yeah, it sounds like he was just floating around.
I mean, at 23, I was playing ding dong ditch with my friends.
At 23, that's crazy.
Like I was 13 again, that's crazy. Thinking it was hilarious, which it was. But fun times. But I wasted so many hours just trying to get, validation from people who didn't care.
I ain't gonna give you that one, bro. Ding dong ditch at 23 is crazy. Maybe if you're like super drunk as a one-off thing, I could see how a bunch of 23-year-olds can get into some dumb shit like that, but as just like, hey, you guys want to go play ding dong ditch with your bros at 23 is crazy.
If I lived or died at the end of the day, I thought my life was meaningful because it looked cool in photos, looked cool on MySpace.
Sure.
But, all I was doing was burning through the most valuable years of my life.
Right.
The years where I had the most energy, the most flexibility, and the most time to build something meaningful. Nobody told me I was wasting it. Nobody. And when the world sees you drifting, it doesn't intervene.
Yeah.
It just keeps feeding you distraction after distraction and lie after lie while profiting off of your blindness.
Yeah, man, you are going to stay in the same channel that you find yourself in today, unless you actively do something to pull yourself out of it. It's not going to get better on its own. Nothing gets better on its own like that.
And ignorance. And then fast forward into my late 20s.
Okay.
Then I got into a relationship that wrecked my life.
Oh, God.
She got pregnant and everything changed.
Yup, that will happen.
And I love my son. I would never undo that.
Sure.
But that relationship, it was a disaster.
Oh, man.
I did not know how to choose wisely at all. I confused chaos and passion and intensity with love.
Right.
Because no one ever taught me the difference.
No, man.
I thought it was normal for things to be dramatic and unpredictable. I thought that meant we were meant to be or something. I don't know. But instead, I don't know what was going on, but instead I ended up in family court fighting for
Yeah, that emotional high of a toxic relationship, right?
time with my own son, treated like an intruder and a criminal for wanting to be a father.
Oh man.
And then in my 30s, you know, I mean, my 30s weren't the best years of my life.
Hmm.
You know, you hear that a lot. Your 30s will be the best years of your life. 30s and 40s. 30s were a nightmare.
Wow.
I was broke. I was depressed. I was isolated, missing my son constantly, and dealing with games and lies and schemes my ex would pull to destroy the bond between me and my son. I wasn't just dealing with grief. I was dealing with a system that didn't care if I disappeared. And yeah, a few times I, in the midst of all that, tried to date again. I finally started to see what I'd been blind to in my 20s.
Okay.
I was no longer that 27-year-old stuck in a 500 days of summer mindset, falling for manic pixie dream girls, just because they liked the shins too. Now I saw the red flags clearly. Girls with baby rabies, daddy issues, manipulation, all of it. I could spot it instantly. I was like a bloodhound for that kind of thing. It's easy to detect now.
Sure.
That's the part that stings the most. Now I'm 40. I hate my job. But it's not just that. I'm disillusioned by the world. Once you see how everything really works, how broken it all is, you cannot unsee it.
Well, it's not broken. I'll let him talk some more, but I don't think he really gets it yet.
Everything feels fake. The economy is a scam. Inflation is gutting families. People are more isolated than ever before.
But that's not the reality for everybody, right? That's not even the reality for everybody who's born into the same situation and into the same demographics, right? There's something deeper going on. We'll dive into that in a second.
No one's honest. No one's fulfilled.
That's terrible. If you tell yourself that and you believe that, well, that's a reality that you're going to experience. And so he's still in a pretty bad, mental place right here. So let's continue.
And there's a deep apathy baked into everything now. That's why I'm here. This isn't a content hobby for me. This is me refusing to stay silent. This is me using what I have left to build something real, because the clock is ticking. And also,
I imagine there are a lot of guys in their late 30s and early 40s that probably feel like this.
If I die before I can tell my son any of this, before he can know, I mean, he's almost 11. But I want my son to know that his dad didn't just give up, that I fought very hard and went through a lot. And that I bled in silence. That I fought to stay in his life tooth and nail. I fought to become something that he could be proud of. And I fought against a system that was way bigger than myself, that tried to break me. And so this channel, Dad Mode and Dark Mode, is part of that fight.
What you resist persists, though.
Right. It's
not good to fight against things that you don't want to keep happening. You need to assume the reality that you actually want to already be living in. I'll expound on that in a second.
Record. It's my time capsule, my legacy. It's my proof that I didn't just drift off into silence.
I feel like I have to follow up that previous statement before it goes on too much further. So what do I mean? Okay, let's say that you find yourself in a situation like this. You are trying to see your son, and you have a baby mama that is using your son as a weapon against you, right? She knows she hates you for whatever reason. Happens. Now she sees that you greatly value either spending time with your son, or at the very least not being perceived as an uninvolved deadbeat dad. And so when she sees that, and she sees your desperation to not allow that narrative to take root, she's then going to put obstacles in the way of you seeing your child. But if you had a nonchalant attitude about it, I'm not saying to act like you don't want to see your son, but if she saw that her making it difficult for you to see your son didn't bother you, you just, hey, go with the flow. Be detached from the outcome. You know you want to see your son. Hey, can I come pick up my son this weekend? Yeah, I imagine you make some kind of arrangements, but can I come pick up my son this weekend? Oh no, I can't pick up no, because me and my new boyfriend are going to fucking Disneyland and we're taking him. Okay, for sure. All right, guess I'll try again another time. All right, y'all have fun. Well, guess what? Now you've completely robbed all of the power of her withholding your son from you. And in fact, she would much prefer for you to come take him and her to go and have fun with her boyfriend by herself or by their selves. But she values more hurting you or having power over you than her actually going to have fun by herself. But if she sees that she can't hurt you using your son, well, then she'll gladly give you your son so that she can go and have fun with her boyfriend. This is how the universe works. What you resist persists. What you fight against, anything you push against, pushes back against you with equal and opposite force. You know, and understanding that, I'm not saying never push back against anything, because sometimes you want to push back. You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, you push back against your chair because you want the support of the back of the chair to push back on you and give you support. So you got to just understand, unless you don't want more of something, don't pour energy into it, right? Let's say there's a guy who's coming up to challenge you to a fight and you know you can beat his ass. And this is an opportunity where beating his ass, you'd be justified in doing that and it makes you look good. Well, then if he's pressing the issue, press the issue back. And so you come out on top. This is how wars are won. This is how battles are won. A smart general doesn't go into battle with an army he knows he can't defeat, right? And so it's similar in that fashion. You got to pick your battles. You got to pick the things that you want more of, and the things you don't want more of, don't pour energy into it. You know what I'm saying? I'll give you an example from my personal life, right? I have my beautiful, wonderful wife. And the other day I cracked a joke on her. And immediately after I cracked the joke, I was like, she's going to take this wrong. That didn't sound good when it came out. Like, she's going to be offended by this. And she was offended by it. And I immediately asked myself, do I want more of this? And because I didn't want more of her taking offense, what do? Do I try and re-explain the joke? Oh, baby, I didn't mean it like that, da-da-da-da. No, that's all me pouring energy into the situation of her being offended. So I completely detached. I can't remember exactly what she said, but whatever she said, I just like went with it. I was like, yeah, mm-hmm. And then yesterday, randomly, she brought it up again, just to kind of like, oh, I'm off to go do that thing you always say I do now. And I just didn't respond. You know, I think I just redirected. I said something else. I was like, what you trying to eat later? Or some shit like that. And then it completely diffused because that wasn't something I wanted more of. I didn't want to argue over that. I didn't want that to turn into anything prolonged. I didn't want to. You can just choose. You can push and pull the universe at your will, bro. The things you don't want more of, just don't pour energy into it. You can't fight alone. It requires two people for there to be a fight. And the same is true with so many other things.
And was just passive. And I hope one day when he's ready, he'll understand all of this. And so, you know, if you're in your 20s right now and you're listening to this, stop thinking you've got unlimited time. Stop doing it.
Right.
You don't have unlimited time.
So what do?
You think it's harmless to keep chasing women and wasting money and avoiding responsibility. But one day, you'll wake up and you'll realize you've got no leverage.
Sure.
You've got no power, absolutely no clarity, and no way to get those years back. One day you will wake up and you will be 40.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
you will be stuck working a job that you hate with nothing to show for it except memories that don't even matter, that you constantly think about, and it leaves you with no air in your lungs. This pain, you know it. You know what that pain is when you think about, what once was. But yet every hour you waste now is a debt you're going to have to pay later.
Yeah, that's another thing. Don't dwell on the past. That serves you nothing. That serves you nothing. Because dwelling on the past, it causes you to re-engage in the emotions that you associate with those memories and those events. And the language of the universe is emotions. And so whatever emotions, whatever energy you're walking around with, that's the energy that the universe is going to continue to propagate in your reality. And so by dwelling in feelings of guilt, shame, embarrassment, losing out, loss, all that stuff, the universe is just going to give you more of that so you can have more of those feelings, because the universe just gives you what you want. And you tell the universe what you want by what you focus on. That's it. That's the secret. The universe is here to give you exactly what you want. But what you want is not what you say you want. It's what you focus on. It's what you focus your energy on.
You should be building something. Skills, discipline, financial stability, wisdom, a backbone. And if you don't know where to start, I wrote something for you. It's called Dark Mode Protocol. You can find the link in my channel description. I'll even leave it in the video description as well. And it's not inspirational fluff. It's not a self-help book. It's a survival guide for men who are sick of being lied to and want to start thinking clearly and acting with purpose.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. I also have a spiritual channel that you can go and check out, where I speak on these various principles in depth. You can check it out, Eternal Dawn. It's linked in the description down below. Pretty much everything you need to know in terms of the fundamentals, they're there, really, because it's not a lot. It's actually very simple. And once I understood this and started applying it to my life started going exactly the way I wanted it to. Started making a ton of money. Things started going very well on YouTube. This channel is growing. We're quickly approaching 100,000 subscribers. Things are great with my wife. Things are great with my children. Everything's great. You know what I'm saying? And so, and look, I'm not saying bad things don't happen. And I'm not saying that there won't be obstacles in life and things of that nature. But the approach that this guy had is the approach that a lot of people have. And you can boil it all down to the idea that people are not living from the end. People are not clearly articulating or visualizing or just deciding, what do they want the finish line to look like? What do you want your life to look like in the end? What's the job? What does the girl look like? Where are you living? What exactly is the end goal here? In a perfect world, let's do away with limiting beliefs and, oh, I can't do this because I'm too old, or because I'm not tall enough, or because I'm not smart enough, or I'm not talented. Fuck all that. You decide exactly what it is that you want. If you could wave a magic wand, and then ask yourself, all right, how would I move on a daily basis? And it's not even just on a daily basis. It needs to be on a moment to moment basis. The more precise you can be with each and every moment in aligning yourself with your desired end goal, right? Who you are, who you will be once you hit that finish line, who you're supposed to be, who you imagine you would be. The more you can align the decisions you make in each and every moment with that end goal, the faster you will progress there. So let me make it real for you, right? Let's say you're a teenager or in your early 20s, and you want to be, I don't know, a famous YouTuber, a popping YouTuber. I'll just pick that because I do YouTube, and I've built multiple very successful large channels now. And that's apparently the thing that most young people want to be, is an online influencer. Well, you need to clearly articulate, ideally even on paper, what exactly your successful YouTube career looks like. What kind of content are you making? Don't approach this with a throw anything or just throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks. Ask yourself, what kind of content are you creating? What niche are you in? What genre are you in? Right? And it's incredibly easy to do when you're trying to do things that other people have already done. Honestly, doing anything that other people have already done is like, it's so easy because the blueprint is there. You just got to look at them and then say, okay, this is what I want my shit to look like. Whatever my shit looks like at the end is, I want it to look something like this. You know what I'm saying? And you've seen people do this. How many times have you seen people blow up doing content very similar to somebody else who was new to the party, like Mr. Beast? I think it's safe to say Mr. Beast is the first creator of his kind doing the massive giveaways and, you know, challenges and shit like that on the scale that he's doing. Well, there have been multiple people who've literally copied the formula and now they have a very similar channel, right? And it's the same thing you would do if you want to do a channel about hip hop, a channel about history, a channel about animation, whatever. Don't think, oh, I'm going to do this because it looks like it's going to work. Ask yourself, what do you want to do? In a perfect world, wave a magic wand. What does your successful career look like? And what you'll realize, and this is true for most people, I believe, they don't have that. They have a variety of things that they would like, but they don't have a very specific vision. Then, once you've identified that, you just ask yourself in every moment of every day, if I was already that person, what would I be doing right now? What would I be doing right now? Right? What do I think that version of myself that has achieved what these people have achieved, what would they do in this situation? You know what I'm saying? And that's how you approach life, man. That's how you approach life. So many decisions that people make are being made not from the end, but from where they think they are right now. So I'll give you another example. I'll expound it. I'll make the example I just gave a little bit more complex so you can see how you can apply it to every aspect of your life. You envision yourself as a YouTuber, you have 1 million subscribers, you're making $20,000 a month, right? Let's say that's where you're at. And you can make $20,000 a month long before hitting 1 million subscribers, just so you know. But just make it easy, right? So you have 1 million subscribers, you're making $20,000 a month, and you're talking to this chick. Now, that's not your current reality. Your current reality is you're an Uber Eats guy. That's what you're doing for money. You're an Uber Eats guy. Your check engine light is on in your fucking Honda Civic, okay? And you literally have like $40 to your name. You're currently sharing an apartment with other broke people, or you're living at your parents' house or something of that nature. That's your present reality today if other people look at your life. But you are living from the end. You see yourself as already having 1 million subscribers and you're making $20,000 a month. Or let's say you're talking to this chick, right? You get this girl's number and you feel like she's not really that interested. She's dragging her feet a little bit, maybe even not taking you that seriously. Well, broke you in a Honda Civic with your check engine light on that lives with your mom, you're going to put up with that shit. You're going to settle. You're worried. I don't know if I can do much better than this. Oh, man, shit. I'm low-key trying to trick this girl to be with me because I ain't really got shit going on for me. Contrast that with the version of you who already is operating, right? And you can call it lying to yourself. You can call it being delusional. I'm telling you what fucking works, dude. But if what you already got going on is working for you, then keep doing what you're doing. But for those of you who feel as if you are being tossed about by life and you feel disempowered, I'm giving you the keys to the fucking universe here, right? And so, okay, boom. The version of you that has 1 million subscribers, you're clouded up, you're popping, and you're successful, and you have money. You see this girl fucking bullshitting you just stop replying to her. You just, I ain't impressed about this shit. I'm him. And you know what happens? She picks up on that energy. She sees you're not chasing. She starts to be like, hold the fuck up. Why this nigga, wait a second. This dude, he moving kind of different. All of a sudden, she's more intrigued. She's more interested. Where's this confidence coming from? Where's this aura, this swagger coming from off of you? I need to investigate this shit more. You know what I'm saying? You bring her over to your parents' house. You don't have the embarrassed energy of like, oh, I live in my parents' house, I'm broke, and she feels that. Now you bring her over and she, hey, this is my mom, da-da-da. To you, because in your head, fucking, I already got the keys to a, you know what I'm saying? A fucking 4,000 square foot wonderful house in the suburbs. You know what I'm saying? That's the energy you have internally. And she comes over and everything feels light. She feels the confidence. That's how you end up with women who are very beautiful, who end up like getting in relationships with guys who seem like they don't got a lot going on for them, and they believe that he got a future ahead of them because that's what they feel, that energy. And so even without you actually already having a million subscribers, you're already reaping the benefits just off your energy. Because that's the thing, you gotta believe in yourself before anybody else or the world does. And then, so that's how you can see how it extrapolates to other things that aren't related to YouTube. But obviously, you know what I'm saying? You're naturally going to make decisions that align with progressing you towards you attaining that thing. You have to already just walk the walk. When you think about it, this is how people get into shape. I was talking to one of my friends about this. When you get into shape, let's say you're a very overweight person. How do you become a fit person? You just start living like a fit person. You start eating like a fit person. You start exercising like a fit person. You start going to sleep at a reasonable bedtime like a fit person. And then the external, the physical begins to morph and align with the way that you're acting. You're already acting like a fit person. And how do you know that's the case? Because once you become fit, you don't change anything. Right? You don't take one approach to becoming fit, and then once you're fit, you start doing all kinds of different shit. No, you are doing the same shit you were doing on day one. Yeah, you might get bigger and stronger and faster, and the shit evolves and develops, but you're not changing the protocol. You feel me? You don't go back to eating like a fat person, because what happens when you're a fit person and you start acting like a fat person? You become fat. That's all it is, guys. That's all it is. The universe, life is a mind game. The test is, can you have the conviction, the belief, the faith, the strength in your vision and living that out and walking that out despite what external circumstances seem to be telling you? You need to look at what the universe is saying physically, what it seems to be projecting physically, and not giving a fuck about it. You stay committed to the vision, to the reality you want to live, and that is what will manifest. But you let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching. Peace out.